Do you know that feeling when you are stuck between options and cannot come to a decision? That place of indecisiveness, that place of stress. Can you recall when you were part of a team and the leader could not get to a decision and show the way? Perhaps you were that leader yourself. Not a good place to be. It is easy to succumb to indecisiveness. To stick your head in the sand and hope for the best is where we all end up if we are not proactive. It's a terrible place. You've lost control, and circumstances and chance will determine your fate. And then I can also argue that not deciding is really also a decision. You have chosen to be passive and just hope for the best. And this also brings no direction. No direction to you, and also no direction to your team. You are stuck. You are vulnerable. To delay a decision until you have gathered more information means you have made a decision, the decision to decide later. As long as you then really come to a concrete decision at that later time, it is a good thing. It breaks the cycle of indecisiveness. It gives some direction. You can move on to other, perhaps more pressing priorities for now. Team members are also able to move on until that day arrives when you will have to decide anyway. The best approach is to gather best current information, consult whomever needs to be consulted with, compare pros and cons, and then decide. That gives you and the team direction. You are moving towards a solution. If later on the decision proves to be not ideal, you then can simply course correct. Since the process is moving, it should be easier. Progress has been made. The troops are rallied. You are attacking the problems head on, and you are able to win. Without decisiveness, it is impossible to be inspirational. Who would want to follow a leader who is leading you nowhere, or who is constantly changing their mind? One of my clients recently had to make the decision to drastically scale back his company. Their industry was devastated by the pandemic. There was a period of gathering information, of looking how this thing pans out, and then he stepped up in a bold and vulnerable way. It sounds like an oxymoron, but what he did was both bold and vulnerable. He confided with his people of what was going on. Together, they discussed how they could weather the storm. He shaped a vision of what this can look like in the end. Through excellent communication with his people and with their input, he could scale back the company to be able to ride the storm. Because he was decisive, because he was showing the way, there was very little uncertainty. Everyone knew what to do. They could get on with it. It's never easy to scale back. His leadership, however, did make it less painful. Since the people had good direction through the leader's decisiveness, they could plan better and be proactive with their own decisions. All around, a lot of heartache and uncertainty could be avoided. It made the process better. It made them respect their leader more. Where do you need to be more decisive? Are there some difficult decisions you need to make? My message to you is it's always better to be proactive and tackle them head on in a timely manner. It will bring you and those impacted to a better place sooner. It may even be a place of joy. I hope you found this helpful. More of the same can be found on nicohuman.com or by following me on LinkedIn, Facebook, or YouTube. Thank you. Until next week. I'm grateful to have you in my life. Let's all work to be more decisive.